Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. And again, it's a video with a Tier 9 American premium battleship. Those seem to be pretty common in my videos. You know, the only two, including this one now, that I've ever made. Interesting. Anyways, so this is the Georgia. Again, like I said, Tier 9 American premium battleship. And it differs from, well, every other American battleships tiers 7 through 10, except for the Ohio and upcoming California, that it doesn't have 16-inch guns, which is the most common gun type on all of the normal and other premium American battleships. The Georgia and the Ohio both have the I don't think it was ever. I think it was something along the lines of one gun barrel was made. But the Georgia and the Ohio both have the US 457mm gun. And so, in game, that's represented as the Georgia being a ship similar to, not quite identical, but similar to the Iowa in hull, with twin 457mm 18-inch gun turrets, 3 of them. So that's pretty decent firepower, and what's very nice about them in-game is that they are very, very accurate for the most part. You obviously still have those shells, which kind of do their own thing, but overall they're pretty good. So I actually just got the ship recently, only a couple days ago, so I'm still getting used to the ballistics of these guns. They're not too far off of my Missouris, but they are slightly different, so I do pull some shots here and there that are a little bit weird, could have been aimed better, etc. But about shots that I take, the opening salvo is on the enemy Gneisenau, and I score 3 hits on him, and I do about 8,500 damage. Not the, most blazing start. It's not a Yamato Death Strike on an enemy Montana at 26 kilometers, but, it's not bad for being somewhat new to the ship. So I take a second salvo actually, on the Gneisenau. Unfortunately, I do not get any hits. I underled the shells pretty considerably. My third salvo is out on that Sovietsky Soyuz Tier 9 Soviet battleship, and I decide I want to use this island that is to my right as my cover in a way, and I am just gonna rear angle off of it using my somewhat decent belt armor to take the hits. So I take a shot at the enemy York who's pushing in, trying to support his other cruisers and battleship friends in sea, and we smack him for it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a death strike or first blood, or a combination of the two at this point in the game, but we do get a beautiful citadel on him and knock off just a little bit over half of his health, which is going to leave a mark when the citadel you receive is from an 18-inch gun. Now I know in the cap is Udaloy on the enemy team. He was spotted by our carrier earlier north of sea by the Sovietsky's last position, and so I know he's the one that's taken it. And he's going to be, actually, the hero towards the end of this game, although not for his team. Just leave it at that. So I'm staying here by the side of my island, using it as cover, taking shots where I can, also taking shots from them where they can, which isn't the most comfortable thing in the world. I took a big ol' almost 13,000 damage salvo. I believe it was from the Gneisenau. I think he hit me in my upper belt, just below the deck line, and that left a little bit of a mark. But we'll be fine. We've still got plenty of health, I've still got 5 heals, and they have the fast cooldown time that the ships like the Massachusetts and Gascogne have. So I pinged our carrier asking if he could spot around C. Unfortunately he won't. He's going to keep helping out the team down by A and B, but arguably that's not necessarily a bad choice on his part, as they do have pretty solid force down there, even though we are outnumbered here. I get a nice salvo into the Soyuz, 3 pens and 1 overpen, so I do pretty solid damage. Again, 18-inch gun is going to hurt when it pens, most of the time. And another thing about the Georgia that's really nice, especially when paired with an adrenaline rush on your captain, is her reload is very, very, very nice for a ship with 18-inch guns. Now, it's not probably the best battleship reload in the world. In fact, I know it's not. The Scharnhorst has a 20-second reload, but it also has guns that are a little bit over half the size. So, you give and you take. In George's case, it's somewhat best of both worlds. So I'm just hosing down the Soyuz, keeping my AP going. Nice American super heavy AP doing pretty good things. You might notice actually a couple times when I get ricochets on an enemy ship that there's a new little animation now where you can actually see the shell bounce off, which is quite fun. Thank you Wargaming for that one. Nice little visual trick. Wargaming's art department carrying the game as they do. I wonder if they're able to do a graphics overhaul though, like World of Tanks. That would be quite nice. So I decide I'm fed up of my island spot, and I know if we don't take C and push it, we're going to lose this game. While we are at a points advantage, they are at a cap advantage, and so they will catch up pretty quick. The Hipper there in front of me gets absolutely slapped by the Soyuz, I believe. Poor guy. But, don't show broadside to Soyuz. So, I've got my ship turned around, guns swung back around, and in we go into the fray. I do have my Georgia built as a secondary battleship, so I have an 11.3 kilometer range on the secondaries. I don't think I was running the flag. I'm always running out of flags, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. And I decide we're just gonna go for it, man. We're just gonna head straight on in there. So I let my division mate know on Discord, hey, let's just go for it, because at this point they're just gonna win by the caps and we're not gonna be able to do much about it. Still shooting at the Soyuz, still getting the occasional pen, occasional overpen, a lot of ricochets though. Arguably I could have switched to HE, but I wanted to keep AP in the loop in case a cruiser were to pop out. As you'll see later, no more hints. I just feel like with the American AP being so strong, it's not a bad idea to have it pretty consistently loaded. So I score some pretty good secondary hits on the Soyuz there. Set on fire on him, as you can, as you can see, the American secondaries have very good rate of fire and accuracy. 3 guns out on the Gneisenau. The replay seemed to have desynced a little bit because it looked like the rear turret was off aiming who knows where. In game it was actually looking at him. It's just one of those weird replay bug desyncs. I do miss him, but oh well. Shots out on the Soyuz, not Scharnhorst, the Soyuz. And some okay damage to him, 3 pens, probably did some module damage to his turrets. And the York sets me on fire. Cheeky boy. It's not very nice. I let him live earlier. He doesn't have to be rude back, but oh well. I see a Kaga, I want to shoot the Kaga, but he's out of my range. Oh well. The Alaska, however, is not out of my range, and showing broadside, and not looking at me. So here's where I like having that AP loaded. And we blow his citadel apart. Unfortunately, one of the shells overpans and a couple of shells just outright miss. So he does get to live and heal. And he is going to be a little bit more annoying before he dies, before I take him out later. Shots out in Knives now, who had rammed the Alaska, which caused him to stop. I thought he was going to accelerate a little bit faster than he did. Gave him a bit too much lead. Still, over pen and 1 pen, more damage. We're now at 93,700 and have tanked almost 1.5 million. There's 1.5 million. So my health is getting a bit low, which I'm not very happy about. So I pop a heal. Georgia does come with 5 heals. I believe I've got Superintendent on this captain, which means lots and lots and lots of beautiful hit points to recover over the course of games, letting you do some pretty stupid but workable plays. My division mate unfortunately gets taken out by the Soyuz. I don't think he expected the Soyuz to be still sat there. I take a hit from the Soyuz, but he doesn't manage to kill me. I think he just did some superstructure damage. I smack him. Unfortunately, the little dock there does eat 2 of my shells, and so he doesn't take as much damage as he could have, but I did temporarily knock out one of his guns. Lock my secondaries onto him again. I've got manual fire control on these for super good accuracy, although they seem to be more interested in blowing that lighthouse apart. And I shoot at him again, and once more, knock out his B turret. Poor guy. Swing around, get the rear turret off, even more damage. He's now pretty low, but it's not going to be fatal just yet. Now it's fatal. Good job, Iowa. So, keep pushing, heal up, start angling out to not take too much more damage from the Alaska and the Gneisenau, but I think only the Alaska was shooting me. And well, he's still showing broadside, so don't mind if I do. Again, a little bit of desync there. My guns were aimed on him, just a replay bug. And, well, you don't need to know much more than that. Shells hit home. It's a Georgia. They're pretty accurate. 2 pens, almost 7,000 damage. There he goes. There's that Udloy. He decided switching flanks sounded like the best plan. So he went from where he was at the start of the game to where I was. Kudos to him for flanking around like that. He does kill our carrier, unfortunately, and our Marauder, which had done a fantastic push through A, unfortunately does die to their Budioni. Marauder actually is Terminator 1211. Shout out to you. It was really fun playing with you, and he sent me a message after this game, after the ending, which you'll see, which was a lot of fun. It was very nice to, well, I won't say anything. I'll let you guys see. It's only 6 more minutes until that point. Only. So, anyways, we have a points advantage, we have a cap advantage. It means as long as no one dies, we will win, or as long as they don't take any caps, we will win. This is World of Warships, you know it's not going to happen. Someone's going to die, or someone's going to, lose a cap. I open up on the Gneisenau, after asking my team to shoot the Udloy, which they don't. It's World of Warships. What do you expect? Take a hit from the Gneisenau, and so I decide to pop my final heal. I could have probably waited for that one. I think I might have used it a little bit too early, but it looked like the health bar, the part that could be recovered, was pretty much full, if not full anyways, so I just decided, yeah, screw it, and I went for it. Shells out on the Duke of York there, 2 overpens. Okay damage, could have been better, could have been worse. This Budioni, kudos to him. He played with his throttle and his steering very well, and it made it very frustrating to hit. As you can see, he was slowing down, he was crawling along at maybe quarter or half speed, and I shot at him and he accelerated, and I totally whiffed it. So, first salvo I miss on him. A little bit frustrating. He is outside of my detection range though, so I can play a little bit safe. I do get set on fire, and because I don't have infinite health to play with, I do instantly put this out. Now, normally I would let that burn. I always think if I have 2 fires or more is when you should put it out. 1, let it burn. 1 flood, similar story. 2 floods, put that out. But if you have lower health, like I do, I want to try and save that for as long as I can, knowing there's ships with bigger guns, like the Duke of York and the Gneisenau, which can do a lot more damage than the Budyonny. So the Kaga, with his final torpedo bomber, goes after the Budyonny and forces him to turn, misses his torpedo, but I do get an overpen. Frustratingly, only an overpen. Might have overled a little bit, or again, played with his throttle, so I shoot once more. But because I was shooting waterline and he turned out, those shells land just short. Okay, well, whatever. I decide I'm going to engine boost away, try and break visual contact, which I do, and then I tell my division mate on Discord, I need to kill this guy. This will be the salvo that doesn't. So I shoot, and I just keep turning, because I want to try and angle back in towards Duke of York and Gneisenau. Sure enough, 2 overpens, Budyonny down. Now, I did notice he was being taken most of the time, but because I was in the engagement with the Budyonny, there wasn't much I could do. The Udloy has actually pushed into it. He does a good little smoke juke there. I thought he was going to try and play with it and stay out of the smoke longer than he did. And so I do underlead that pretty severely, which isn't the greatest thing. So I decide I'm going to turn back in. I'm going to head towards C. I need to go and contest it. I need to nuke him, take him out, be it secondaries, main guns, doesn't matter. I just need to take him out, get us some points, get us some caps. So I ask our Colorado for support, and I ping C, hoping he'll turn around. And then I ping our Iowa and ask him to go to B so he can go take that. And I make the same mistake on the Udloy again, and underlead him. Although this time I think accuracy became part of the issue, because those looked like they should have hit. The Colorado does actually get a hit on him with his rear guns. He was firing HE and gets a good shell in, leaving only 300, I think 45 health. Frustrating. It's, you know, it's World of Warships. It's what happens sometimes. Hell, sometimes I have been that destroyer on very low health and managed to survive it, and sometimes I just get wiped off the face of the earth. It's just how it is, really. So I ping the Ismail in Iowa again, asking them to go to B. The Iowa looks like he is going to do that. He understands we need to get the caps, so I appreciate him for that. But there's only 1:55 left on the clock. And they have all 3 caps. And our points advantage is very, very quickly going to melt away. So again, I ask for help, and I ping the Colorado on the map. And he does say Wilco, and slowly starts to turn her ship around, you'll notice now, before my camera pans back, and you can see on the map he actually does. But it is a bit too late. The Colorado is too slow at this point to get really anywhere involved, anywhere fun done. I realize Udloy obviously is a destroyer, has torpedoes, so I decide to turn left to try and throw his torpedo aim off. However, he didn't actually go to my left like I expected. He had gone to my right. Which means those torpedoes catch me off guard. Do take one, does cause a flood. I instantly repair that. Had I turned right earlier, arguably I would have dodged him and been okay. He does send torps at the Ismail as well. Ismail dodges them, and that's not an issue. We are now in B and C and capping, but as you can see, they've caught up to our points lead. There's 31 seconds left on the clock.
Problem solved, sir.
My teammates start saying in chat that we've lost, and I just say negative, I refuse. I've had a pretty solid game, not the best Georgia game you'll ever see by any stretch of the imagination, but I played it somewhat okay for still being new to the ship, and I was not wanting to lose. In frustration, I say, fuck you, Colorado, in chat, and I noticed the Udaloy smoked up. So I blind fire. And with a second left, I killed him. And we won. And if there's anyone I have to apologize to for, that game, that's the Udaloy. Because he didn't play badly. And an incredibly lucky shot with a single second left on the clock lost his team that game. I think I've only ever had one game end in such a way, which is actually a video I might be making. It is an older replay file since it's come after the Missouri game, but it was a couple updates before this one, so it might not work. But if it is something I can get working, it will be something I do show off. But so, here we go. Result screen. As you can see, decent credits earned, some XP, some free XP. I wasn't running too many special flags. Again, I'm out of most of mine. Got the Dreadnought. Unsurprisingly, I went through all of my heals. 121, almost 22,000 damage, 63 main gun hits, 3 kills, 2 Citadel hits, 94 secondary gun hits. I was working on the Jersey Squaresy Commander missions, so part of that task is done. As you can see, second on the team, 1,699 base XP, Armagador Terminator 1211, fantastic job, like I said earlier, 2312, unbelievable job. Really just kudos to him for playing as he did on his flank. And then enemy Udaloy, who had also a very, very good game. But unfortunately, George's accuracy, or with that salvo I took, technically lack thereof, is just a little bit better. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And unlike last time, not going to commit to a schedule because it just 100% depends on if I decide any games are worth recording or not. And while I do have a fair number of good games, I don't think any of them are really too exceptional or have anything too special happen. My last one with the Missouri being first time over 200,000 damage, this one in the Georgia being insane ending. In my opinion, it's definitely happened before, but only once or twice in my World Warships career, so I decided, hey, I want to celebrate this. So, as said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next one.